Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
A reservist from Maize joined the Army just before the attacks on 9/11.
He went on to serve 2 tours in the Middle East. KSN's Jason Lamb shares his story in this week's Veteran Salute.
After Bo Alarcon graduated from Wichita Northwest High School in 1999, he didn't know what he wanted to do next, college or the military. Well, he joined the U.S. Army, and he's still a reservist to this day. Bo Alarcon was close to finishing basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, when the United States was attacked on September 11, 2001.
There was a good amount of us that were that were actually excited. We were thinking, you know, hoorah, we're gonna go overseas, because that's what they put out is, all right, we're gonna push you guys through and we're gonna send you overseas when 9/11 hit. And it didn't really change anything, just probably the way that most of us looked at being in the service now, because there wasn't really much going on at the time at first, and then that hit and we knew that things were gonna spark up, so.
Alarcon was part of a transportation company. He was deployed to Iraq in January of 2004.
My first deployment, we were a PLS unit, and we made gun trucks out of it and provided our own security in '04. It was a Camp Anaconda, which is Balad is the town. It's 30 miles north of Baghdad. I was a heavy wheel operator. We had the PLS system, which you could pretty much put the flat rack on the ground, put a Connex on there, and then load it back onto the truck and take off. So we hauled anything and everything, whatever needed to be moved.
Camp Anaconda earned the nickname Mortaritaville for the daily mortar and rocket attacks on the huge supply base.
Yeah, I mean, that one was definitely more extreme than my second one. You have your Air Force there, and they like to send mortars in.
That first tour lasted 14 months. Alarcon returned to the States, and 5 or 6 months after he got back.
And then shortly after that is when Hurricane Katrina and Rita hit, and me and one of my buddies that were living together went over with Blackwater Security and pulled security for FEMA for Hurricane Katrina and Rita.
After working security for FEMA for 4 months, Alarcon came home to Kansas.
Came back from that and just kept reserving, and then around 2008 is when got called upon to go again.
Back to the Middle East, this time to Kuwait.
That's when we started kind of bringing our stuff back, so we would convoy far north and bring equipment and stuff back.
Alarcon returned from Kuwait in 2009, and since then, he's been in the reserves. The Iraqi war veteran plans to retire from the reserves when he hits the 20-year mark next May.
Served with a bunch of great people and met a lot of people, you know, kind of traveled around a little bit. My first deployment, it was kind of strange because half of us were Midwest and the other half were New York and New Jersey. So that weird clash at first, you know, it was pretty neat, but met a bunch of cool people for sure.
Alarcon says the one thing he misses most about his deployments is the camaraderie with other soldiers. But he has a full house now. He and his girlfriend share 5 teenage girls and 2 young sons, all under the same roof. Here for you, Jason Lamb, KSN News 3.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize this week's veteran, Staff Sergeant Raphael Alarcon, who's currently serving our country in the United States Army Reserve. Sergeant Alarcon, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for all the other troops out there.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.